Okay, so I hope that the authorities are listening. Roughly 3 months.
Yeah.
Roughly. A little over 3 months.
3 months, just 8 days after.
But we can still get some things done within that period. And of course, it's not just about that tournament. Even after the tournament, we have to put our house in order. Ensure that, look, I've always believed that if you jump up, you will come down.
Yes.
Even if we go and win
the World Cup, yes.
When we still have our problems.
Yes.
Not just, and I can say this now, and you won't think I'm being partial. Just the same way we have the problem with the ladies, we have it with the guys.
Yes.
And it cuts across.
But I think the ladies' own is so obvious. The guys, of course, you know, they go on training tour, every other thing, money and all that. But the girls are not just there. Remember they went to Namibia without nothing and they came back. That was when they actually gave them their bonuses. I mean, you know what happened in Namibia. Okay. So at least
let's talk about,
not the same as
let's talk about the guys now. Like we said earlier, the picture is getting clearer. Now, Keshi confirms that, okay, fine, they've offered me a contract. And I think he puts the issue to rest for a while. But, you know, there were words going on to and fro, exchange of words in the last few weeks. But now, the big boss confirms that, look, they've sent this to me.
Okay, we don't know how long it's going to take him to actually look at it because it was a long time before they finally gave it to him. Remember, Demola Lajire was actually on Sports Tonight and he said, you know, he will sign the contract will be given to him, and it took days and all that. And so he actually said, okay, the hours he's talking about could be multiplied by days and all that, so he wasn't really specific. Now, looking at that, I think maybe he might just sign today or tomorrow, but I'm so happy that at least finally he has the contract with him. Yes, so we're not waiting for him to see if he can pen the deal, but the details of the contract is something we really don't know. But we have so many reports in the media, in newspapers and all that. Look, it's 5 million, some are saying it's 3 million, some are saying he's going to be given a shut-up order and stuff like that, but we don't really know the details of the contract. Maybe before the end of the day or by tomorrow, I think, because the lawyers definitely really need to look at it, not just him alone, and everyone around him working for him. That is it, so that he will know how to get out of it, because reports we heard was that they're going to put it in a way that whenever he gets to lose a game or something, then he will definitely be booted out. Stuff like that.
I don't know. We don't know the details, but what we can confirm to you is that he has been offered a new deal. We can also confirm that nothing has been signed yet. But like Cecilia said, in the days to come, we will get to know what's going to happen between the NFF and Coach Keshi. Okay, let's also move on from there. I talk about the Europa League. Europa League is always of interest to us because even though we don't have plenty of Nigerians playing in the UEFA Champions League, a step lower, which is the Europa League, not lower in quality these days, but you have Nigerian players getting involved and doing well. So we've put together some selected 16 matches were played last night in the round of 32. Round of 32 second leg. We just put across some fixtures. I mean, it was a harrowing experience for Liverpool. Besiktas got a 1-0 victory, went to penalties, they lost. Dejan Lovren lost the penalty, and so the Reds are out of Europe. Final, I mean, a lot of drama in that. Roma eventually won that game on aggregates. A lot of drama. The Dutch, I mean, I don't know if it was a revenge or something, because a fortnight ago, something similar happened. When Feyenoord came to Rome.
And when they got there, and you know, there's actually
maybe those guys wanted to pay them back in their
own I think the way they did it was even worse, because there was actually reports that a very huge banana was thrown on the field. I mean, thrown at Gervinho, which wasn't really good.
Was really bad. I'm very sure UEFA will investigate
I think they would do that. A little bit of unrest. There was a time they even had to stop the game. Before it had to continue, when they were man down and all that. They scored the opening goal and they were man down, reduced to 10 men.
Everything started immediately. That red card
was given.
Yeah. So this one, 2 Nigerians involved. Well, not 2 of them on the field actually, but clubs having Nigerians on their books: Inter Milan and Celtic. Fortunately for Celtic, got a man sent off. At the end of the day, it was Inter that won on aggregate. Well, it was good for Everton last night. Romelu Lukaku just, getting the goals. The only English club still left in the Europa League. 7-1, 7-2 aggregate victory over Young Boys of Switzerland. Fiorentina were able to defeat Tottenham by 2 goals. And of course, Red Bull taking on Villarreal that parades our own Ike Uche. It was 5-2 on aggregate after winning away 3-1. It was 5-2 on aggregate for Villarreal. So these are some of the results we put together. But the story really, Sisi, is that today the draws will be had and teams will know their opponents.
I think for me, for England, I think Everton not really doing so well, at home. But when it comes to Europa, they're just at their very best, beating young boys. I think those young boys actually need to change their name because men actually play in Europe, not boys.
Okay. All right. Let's move.
You see how the Italians
they were beating because they were boys. All right, let's move on. English Premier League fixtures will come up on your screen shortly. Some teams would like to recover from what happened to them during the week. Teams like Arsenal, teams like Tottenham. Well, Tottenham will not be playing in the league. But this is what is going to go down in the league. Burnley take on Swansea, Manchester United take on Sunderland, Newcastle take on Aston Villa, Stoke City take on Hull City. Nigerians will be involved in our sprinkling of Nigerians. Victor Moses, Sonny Aluko, and it was as well there is fit. West Ham take on Southampton in that one. Liverpool take on Manchester City. Arsenal take on Everton. I think it's a very good time for Everton to be playing Arsenal. But a quick one, Cecilia, this weekend, Captain World Cup final, we don't really have much time to look at both sides, but what do you think the pendulum will swing?
Yeah, I think it's going to be Jose because I wouldn't remember in 2008, last time Tottenham has actually won. It was in 2008, and so playing Chelsea again. Remember what happened? 5-3 on the year day. I think that's something that will always refresh.
Nightmare.
That is it. And another one is for the coach Pochettino to have rested some of his top players. He needed to rest Harry Kane and all that. He didn't play in Europa League. Maybe that's why they lost the game because there was actually nobody to score. So that was awful. He had 2 clear chances and he couldn't even convert any. But I think he has actually primed his players in a way that he's thinking on Sunday that is the big one. He's going for the trophy. Okay. But I don't think the Spurs I saw, except the fact that, okay, some players were dropped, the Spurs I saw in the game last night will not be able to contend with wounded Chelsea, so to speak, because of what happened, against Burnley and all that. I think Mourinho would definitely not just want to let this one slip.
Okay. Chelsea all the way, according to Cecilia. But we have a big game on our hands. Tottenham have shown in recent times that they can defeat the big teams. So we'll wait to see what goes down in the Capital One Cup final. All right, let's spend the remaining the few minutes left on tennis. And these days Rafael Nadal not doing too well, but world number 2 and world number 1, Novak and Roger Federer, moving on in Dubai and somewhere in Mexico. A little bit of African interest. Kei Nishikori and Kevin Anderson also doing well as well. But let's start with Dubai before we go to Mexico. It's a good one. And again, Andy Murray just shows us that when you start tipping him for great things, he knows how to disappoint you.
He falls apart. I mean, it was really a shocking result. 6-1, 6-3. The boy is just 18-year-old from Croatia, Bona Koric. Now, this boy was at the Governor's Cup 2 years ago. He actually won it. So this is someone you look at. There was actually a time he defeated Rafael Nadal, after he left the Lagos, back to Europe and all that. So this is a young lad who is coming up. I think Roger Federer really needs to prepare for this young boy because he's going to face him next. There's some players you just look at, you feel, okay, they're playing so well, and at a particular young age, you feel, okay, they might just drop. They have nothing to lose, exactly. So he's playing with all this power and might, and with that resounding victory over Andy Murray, I think, Federer will just have to be careful. Remember, Federer has won Dubai Championships 6 times. He's going for the 7th title. For Djokovic, he has been having a clean run, 6-1, 6-1 against his last opponent, 49 minutes. I mean, that's actually huge for Djokovic. So he's having a very, very beautiful run in the tournament.
All right. What about Mexico?
In Mexico, you have Kei Nishikori, of course, and Kevin Anderson. They will be meeting in the semi-finals today. Both of them cruise through. For Kevin Anderson, South African guy, world number 15, actually dropped a set. He had to rally down from 3-6 to win 6-3, 6-3 against the Serbian Victor Trakic. So it was a good one for him. For Kei Nishikori, his was also a straight set. He ended the sport 6-4, 6-4 against the Gopalov. So when you look at the way both of them played, Kenny Shikori didn't have to like drop a set or he didn't have to battle hard. It was a smooth sail for him. But looking at Kevin Anderson, after dropping that set and being able to come back, well, I think it's still going to be a tough match for both of them. We'll just watch out what's going to happen. I think the game starts from 4 p.m. today. So just watch out.
We will be focusing on all of this, and probably later tonight we will be telling you what happened, because most of those matches will be played. And all right, in a minute, let's talk about Formula One. And we'll talk about Formula One this morning. We're talking about McLaren, a team that won the Formula One championship in 2008 when they had a certain Lewis Hamilton on their books. Now, Fernando Alonso is back. Jenson Button is there. They're having problems. The star driver just coming out of a crash. The engines, the cars that they're using, everything just seemed not to be working right for McLaren.
Well, according to McLaren Group head Ron Dennis, actually said, when Fernando Alonso was released from the hospital on Wednesday, they said that it wasn't really because of any engine problem or whatsoever.
They're telling us it has nothing to do with the car.
Precisely.
But why is Jenson Button not being able to finish his races in the tests?
Exactly. So that's the question you need to ask them. And another thing is, how serious was the injury to Fernando Alonso? Now he's not part of the testing. Now you have to wait until March 15 for him to start with the preseason and all that.
Race is
March 15. That's March 15. So you have to like wait till that time for him to start racing in Melbourne. So you now ask yourself, how injured was he? Exactly. They're not really starting well at all. I don't know what's going to happen to McLaren this season, because after Lewis Hamilton left, like you said, they've really not won anything. Jenson Button, there was actually a time he felt he was even going to leave until the whole contract stuff was sorted out. But having a Fernando Alonso and Jenson Button, I think these are two key drivers that they actually needed this season to get something out of it. I'm not sure they're going to win anything.
Okay.
Definitely they'll win some titles, but not the overall. No, not at all. Not even the constructor. No, that's not possible.
Okay. Well, it's looking like gloom and doom if you listen to Cecilia, but it's a whole year of competition, and probably Alonso might just get well. Jenson Button might just, and probably McLaren might just sort out the issues with the engines, with their car setup, and probably with their engineers, and everything might just go on well. Well, that's all we have for you this morning. We're sorry we couldn't read any of your messages on Twitter, but we promise that next time you see us, we'll be able to do that. You can join us later tonight when we have more time on our hands to take you on a trip across the money-spinning world of sport. But on behalf of everyone that's made today's show possible, me, Yemi Adebayo, and Cecilia Omorogwe, bye-bye.